What's up, YouTube? I'm Robert, and this is the B1KER Bar Podcast live stream. I feel like I should change that intro. I was really thinking about it the other day, and because this is a podcast too, I should say something like, "What's up, B1KER Bar?" I think I'm going to change that. Maybe next week. We'll see. I don't know. Anyways, episode 98. Today we have Josh from Daily MTB Rider. I had to look at that and read it because every time I say it, for some reason, I get it wrong. So I'm glad that I did that. Anyways, it's been a while. And I feel like, I don't know, man, I just have tonight, for some reason, the motivation to get out here and do the podcast wasn't 100%. But here I am, and I'm stoked to talk to Josh because it's been forever since I've chatted with him. And those of you guys that are watching probably wonder why I'm wearing a collared shirt. That's out of the norm. I don't know either. So the lady bought these for my birthday. I felt like I had to wear them. So here we go. Nonetheless, I want to say something. Thank you to everybody that's on Patreon. I've had some new people sign up recently. If you guys would like to support the channel, that would be amazing. $5 a month, get yourself a sticker pack. $1 a month, get yourself some access to the coupons. Just don't be that guy that signs up for $1, writes down the coupon codes that he wants, and cancels the same day. If you were that dude, I know who you are. But if you weren't, don't be that guy. there's another tier on there as well. If you're a super fan, you really want to help the channel, that would be great if you did that. Get a whole bunch of merch, have biker everything all over the house. It would be amazing, and I would be happy. Beer fridge would be full, and that would be that. So outside of that, if you like the show, write a review. That'd be great. I also want to invite you to swing by Instagram and the few of you that use Facebook and follow the B1KER Bar page. I'm always posting pictures and other stuff going on behind the scenes over there. And watching those numbers grow makes me happy. I'm sure you hear me say it all the time, but hey, here it is one more time. And the other thing that every YouTuber always says that used to annoy the shit out of me before I was a YouTuber is please like and subscribe. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Bring Josh back up. What's up, Josh? How's it going, man?
Dude, if I had $1 for every time someone was like, "Oh, do me a favor and like and subscribe right now," I'm like, if I liked it enough, I would have already done it already. So thank you for the reminder.
Right? I always felt like, dude, I know how this works.
Yeah.
But the one thing I have to say is the first person I ever subscribed to was Brian. And it was because he always said like and subscribe and like it supports the channel. And finally I was like, this guy's pretty entertaining. I'll hit the button.
Yeah, I hit like now for almost any video that I'm watching that I'm like, oh, this is a good video. It's like I always click like because I like when people do it. See what I did there? By the way, Robert, yeah, I'm happy you mentioned the shirt. When I saw you, I was like, oh man, like somebody must have died in Robert's family. Like he put on something respectable.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's funny. Yeah, I actually had this shirt on for work a few days ago, and I was on a Zoom call, and my supervisor was like, "Wow, dude, you got a collared shirt on?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You're pretty much always wearing t-shirts." I'm like, "Yeah."
Dude, dressing for success. If your boss notices, he's like, maybe we should pay this guy more.
That's what it is, I think. Yeah. But he wears t-shirts too, so it's I work with a bunch of software engineers, so sometimes it's hard just to get them put shoes on, you know.
Yeah, true. It's like I can code up and down, left and right, but put clothes on, look respectable.
So yesterday it was yesterday. Yesterday I rode Mills Peak, which is sort of close to Downeyville.
Yeah,
super fun trail. I actually posted on Instagram. I think it might even be better than Downeyville.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not as long, but like the trail is just, you know, I like the chunky stuff. So it's like just like consecutive, like just working your suspension, fast chunk though. You're not like slow tech or something like that. And it's like really active. It's like, you know, turn, pumps, all kinds of like natural booters and rocks to like pop off of. So you're just you got a lot going on the whole time. You know what I mean? So there's no like zoning out. I mean, not to say that you would do that in Downeyville, but you kind of get what I'm saying. Anyways, I punctured a tire and I put some bacon in it and it ended up coming out later. I put it back in again, got it all done. And we were talking about guys that like ride tires with too many bacon strips in it. And I actually told the story to my friends when you were down at my house and I was getting ready to go do Downeyville with you for biker camp. I had like 3 plugs in the tire and you're like, dude, you need to put a new tire on. We're going to Downeyville tomorrow. I'm like, no. You're like, you have it right here. I'm like, it just seems like too much work.
Yeah, and then what actually happened was I ended up putting your tire on because I didn't want to be on a ride with you and deal with the flat and go, I told you to do it. And you would have been like, no, yeah, I guess I should have done it, huh? Like, freaking idiot, dude.
I felt like that was actually my plan, was like just to wait long enough for one of my friends to do it for me.
That's always your plan.
The epitome of lazy. What's that you got in the background there? That looks like an e-bike.
Oh, dude. Okay. So this, it is, this is a video currently in the works, which if this leaks out to the people in this industry, then I'm hosed, but it's fine. So the one part about being a YouTuber, and I noticed this, like the more subscribers I got, the more this happened, is we get so many emails, so many emails of absolute garbage. I mean, like, hi, my name's Shelly, and I'm with the company. I'm not joking. Like, it's like the randomest names, and they're like, hey, I have these bicycle mirrors, and I like your YouTube channel. Your content is great. I like the video. Went to Downeyville, and I'm like, this is baloney, right?
Yeah.
And
You're
so for like
yes.
Yeah. So for like the last year, I'm not exaggerating. Once a week, I get an email. Hey, we've got these e-bikes. We would like you to try one out. And here's the thing, and I'll show it in a sec. These e-bikes are all the same. So any of you who've like, it's usually your mom or your mother-in-law, which like my mother-in-law is all about these things. My dad's like, that looks cool. It's like people who are like old and moldy. So kind of like you, Robert. So it's like people who are older. They're like, I want an e-bike. Like that looks fun. And they're like $1,500. I went to the bike shop and I checked them out. And I had to tell them every time, these are all made by like 1 or 2 manufacturers, and companies buy them, slap their own stickers on them. And they're fine. Like if you're going to ride like once a month or like 3 times a summer, like the average person with a bike, then it's fine. But there's just hot garbage. And I told them, I get hit up every week for one of these rebranded bikes. And so it dawned on me one day. I was like, you know what? I know some people that could actually use like one of these stupid e-bikes as transportation. And it'd be kind of fun to give them away. And I was like, wait a second. I know what I should do. For like 4 months straight, anytime any e-bike company offers to send me one, I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to compile like 10 of these things. And all of them, they always want one thing. Will you make a video? Will you put our bike name in the title? Or will you put a link in the bottom? So all of them, I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I totally will. I'm going to make one video for all of them and do everything they've asked. So this is awesome. Yeah. So this is one of those dumb bikes here.
So those of you listening, it's like got some really big fat tires on it. What looks like maybe a frame to like that was stolen from Giant from like 1995 or so. And then it's got this monstrous battery in the middle and a huge headlight that was probably like the same size of one on a motorcycle in 1942 or something like that.
Yeah, it only weighs 75 pounds.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Yeah, but I have another one behind here, and I have others coming. I'm pretty stoked about, but
I feel like it's going to be like a giveaway video then, right? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. I have a couple people that I know could use them. So I think what I'm going to do is like make a review of them because I'm supposed to review them. And so I have a couple of ideas of like, now I'm going to review the Himaway, and the Himaway is unique in that it's the same, right? And so like I'm going to like make a review video, and then I think I'm going to make a video giving them to people. Like my mother-in-law really wants one, so I'll probably give her one.
I feel there's like a video of like I gave away 10 e-bikes would slay.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Yeah. I feel like that's a really good idea. I've been getting, I started doing that 90-second reviews on my channel. I don't know if you've watched any of those. But
all of them, huge fan. And you're going to review this. We're going to talk about this later. You got to review this.
I already have a story. I did try it one night, and
we'll get there later. We'll get there later.
So, anyways, yeah, I've been getting a bunch of those emails too. And a lot of the times I never respond to that stuff because I hate doing reviews. Mm-hmm. But with that new format, like it's actually making like reviewing things fun to me because like I was thinking about like, you know, you talk to a friend whenever they're like, hey, do you like these pedals that you bought? And usually your conversation with them is like a minute long, right? Like, it's like, yeah, but the pins, they fall out, or, you know, I don't like the way that the coloring is. I wish this was plastic instead of anodized metal. You know what I mean? Like, and then you're done. And your buddy's like, oh, okay, I get it, you know? Yeah. And on YouTube, it's like normally like 2.5 minutes of them telling you about their channel and like and subscribe. And then they finally get to talking about the thing. And it's like a billion like different angles, and it looks really pretty and stuff, but it's like, I don't know, man, just get to the freaking like to the point here. I want to know, do you like it? Do you don't? What's wrong with it? You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's kind of what gave me the idea of that. And there's some other channels that I've watched that are successful, and there's no glamour shots. There's no frills, you know, it's just like good content. Like Steve, for example, from Hardtail Party was like, he's standing in front of his bike in that room, you know, bike's on a bike rack, and he's just talking about like what he knows about it, you know? And it just kind of like, it made me realize that you don't need all that like fancy editing and camera trickery to like have a badass video. Like, it's really like make content that somebody wants to listen to. But I don't know if I have it like dialed with the 90-second thing. Like, it seems like the people that are watching it really do like it, but the views definitely aren't there. So
yeah, it's like anything, man. Like, you nailed it though. It's all about your personality. And people have said like, yeah, I've watched so many review videos, and I'm like, I literally sit there, and then like it's like 3 seconds. I'm like, this is garbage. Click, 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 and I don't. And I'm like, oh, finally, right? So I think you'll get it, dude. Like, you'll hone it, and people are going to be stoked on it, I think.
Yeah, and I figured that the other thing too is like with those videos when they come out, like if it's not something that you're actually looking for, like I know me, if I was subscribed to somebody, I'd be like, oh, I don't really care. But those are the ones where it's like somebody was looking for that product. Like, hey, I want to know what, like, should I like Owry grips, you know? And then they'll watch it. They'll watch the whole thing. So I feel like those ones will like, they'll just continue to grow over time. And, you know, I have to just not be like worried about whether or not it's like getting a shitload of views. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing. Like, I've got 10 things that I could do that same thing with.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like stuff that I'm like my RC shoes that I've been using. Right. It's like, man, I wish I could tell people the quick, like 2 things I like about it, but that's not a whole video. What I do is like, I'll save it for later, and then I don't get around to it.
Yeah. That's kind of what I would do. Or I would be like, oh, you know what? I'll just like throw it into one of my rides. You know what I mean? So it's like a little sidekick spot. But then half time I'd forget, or, you know what I mean? It's like you get out there, you're doing something else. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm I like the format too, just because it's like really easy for me to do. You know what I mean? It's like go out to the garage, film what I want to say maybe 3 or 4 times, because it's hard. It's hard to get it all out in 90 seconds. And you feel like, you know what I mean? Like, so you'll record the first one and you'll be like, oh crap, I forgot about the one thing that irritates me the most, you know? And then
I hear you, dude.
So then you say it again, and then you're like, oh man, I ran out of time, you know? And then you're like, all right. So it seems like I haven't had to record them more than 3 times, but that's pretty quick, you know? And then the editing is like, you know, change a couple zoom in and outs and throw the outro on it, and you're like, done. So that's pretty rad, you know?
Yeah, wham bam, dude. And it's good content, right? So
yeah. So what else is new with you, man?
Dude, just got my e-bike life. I'm trying to think what else. Honestly, I've been laying low, and it's been very, very enjoyable.
Yeah.
And
riding. Instagram to like grab a picture, and it was like the last thing that you posted on Instagram was like, it was like, I don't think this account exists anymore.
Yeah, people have been asking me like, are you alive? I'm like, yeah, just barely, right? Like, are you doing anything? Nah, just staring at a wall most days.
Right.
Yeah. I think that the biggest misconception is that, I mean, and I said it in my last video, but it's like I don't do YouTube full time, and most everybody else at my channel size or larger, even a little smaller, do.
Yeah.
And so that's very unique for people. So
yeah.
But yeah, man, like I've just been riding my bike a lot more, which has been great. And yeah, riding my gravel bike more, which is not great, but kind of great. So
yeah, it's kind of weird, huh?
Yeah, and my trusty e-bike. So
right, dude. Speaking of e-bikes, did you see Yeti brought theirs out?
Oh yeah, freaking Yeti, man.
Dude, so expensive. Like, I think it was like the base model was like 10 something, and then if you wanted carbon rims, it was like another $1,000. And then the other model was like 12 something, and then same thing, $12,000, and you don't get carbon rims. It was like another $1,000 if you wanted carbon. 900 if you know, for all you people that were really like gonna hound me about it. But it really got me thinking, like, is there a spot where I'm like, that's too expensive for me to like be a participant? And I feel like that's too high. Like,
yeah. So something has happened, and I think most people like notice it, but they don't really know like why it's happening. And Cobra Kyle brought up my Walmart e-bike, right? And it was Kyle who actually influenced me to get it. And that thing cost me $399. And that was a year ago. Now you can't buy that exact same bike for less than $600. And so that's a 50% jump in price with all the same material. The other thing I realized was, for a while there, I was really wanting my channel to like jump towards the most budget yet do it all bike. And so what I was looking at was YT and Canyon at that time. Each had, like, YT had the Jeff C, Canyon had the Spectral, and they were like $2,200, like $2,300. But that got you a Pike, it got you a good rear shock and a dropper post and an Eagle drivetrain. Now you can't get that for less than what, $2,900, $3,000. Like, I haven't looked at their prices in a while, but so two things have happened. The prices of bikes have jumped up significantly. So if you're going from 23 to 3,000, that's $700. That's an increase of like 30%. So that's a 30% increase over a year or two is rough. And then you throw in motors in there and all the technology and junk in that. And then Yeti. So for Yeti, right? Like, we can all look at that and be like, wow, that's really expensive. Well, Yeti was already priced high. If their prices have gone up 30%, plus the technology and design, plus everything else going up, then you get a $15,000 e-bike, right?
Yeah. It's just, I'm starting to feel like, that's too far. Like, that price that I was talking about with the Yeti is just like too much.
But here's the question. How much is too much for a full suspension bike? Non-motorized.
I think I'll go like 8. You know what I mean?
See,
I think I haven't paid more than 5. But
most people on the internet would be like, this guy is a baboon. So he thinks $8,000 is not too much. But 10 for a motor? Like, what a lunatic. Right? Like, so I think it's all relative. And
I totally understand. I feel like, I don't know. I think the most that I would want to spend is somewhere between like 5 and 8. And that's even tough for me. Like I haven't paid more than $5,000 for any bike so far. So I just, I can't, I don't know.
And that was like, you know, speaking of something else that's gone on with me, a lot of people have seen that I sold my Evil, and part of it was that realization right there that you just had of like, that Yeti's I think it's just too much money. And I had that realization for the bike I was currently riding. And I was just like, why is this bike I'm riding, does the frame cost $3,600, right? $3,300 plus tax. And I paid full price for it. And I was like, oh, I got to smoke a deal because I get all these other parts. I'm like, it just dawned on me, like, that's not cool. Like, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What are you riding?
I hear you, man. I got my Ibis Ripley AF, which is a cross-country bike. I'm very proud about it being a cross-country bike.
You are?
It's not a cross-country bike.
You wear spandex and stuff? Full-time
What'd you say? Yeah,
spandex now, full-time clipless?
It's called Lycra, me and the boys call it. So we can slap our butts. And no, I don't wear clips. I wear clipless because that's what you have to call it after you shave your legs. So,
okay. Cool.
But no, it's a 120 in the frame, 140 fork, and it's been great, man. It's been really good. And
I'm actually riding I have a tall boy now. I don't know if you saw that on my channel, but
of course I've seen your tall boy. The color scheme and the honeycomb or whatever looks sick.
Yeah. My buddy did an amazing job on it. Big props to him. Anybody that hasn't went and checked him out on Instagram, it's at Bizmod, BIZMOD bikes, Bizmod bikes. Yeah. But that thing is set up 140. I think it's 120 in the back. I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure that's the way it comes, 120. And yeah, that's been my pretty much go-to bike most of the time. Like, so I'm digging the short travel bike. It's definitely fun. I'm not sure if I'm in the 29er like club yet though. I'm really like, there's some things I'm not crazy about. So
you're just a freaking troll. That's all that it is. You know it's better. You know it's the future. You're just like, nah, I don't know yet. I think I like old technology. I like wagons.
Yeah, right. I think the wheels that I have too much compliance in them. I don't like it. I can feel like a little flex in some certain like circumstances, and I think that's what it is that's bothering me. And I'm hoping to build a new set of rims here in the near future, and I'm just going to sell the ones, even though, I mean, I just bought them, but it's like, whatever.
Yeah. Well, you're a bigger guy, so you're going to feel the flex in 29-inch wheels more than a smaller guy. I've never had
like really stiff wheels in the first place. Like even on my 27.5, like the MB 735s that I have, like they're super stiff wheels.
Yeah. And I've never ever noticed more compliant or stiffer or softer wheels. And I've ridden $200 piece of garbage WTB like junk to high-end carbon rims, and all over around and just like, it's all good. Like that's just me. Yeah.
I definitely have every time I've felt it, it's always been on a 29er. And I don't know. Paul the Punter is saying right now on the comments here, it's because I don't have DH tires on my bike. I don't feel like that's it.
What tires do you have on it?
I don't know. Freaking like just normal like EXO plus freaking Maxxis tires. Depends on which bike. I think on the tall boy right now I have the DHF DHR combo.
Oh, so you do have DH tires.
Yeah, I think he's saying like double down or something like that. I don't know what the hell he's trying to say. Maybe
I bet he's thinking you had like an Ardent or some like race tire on there.
No, why would I have something like that on there? That's some weird shit, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I'm really curious. I think if I build the other wheel set, the one that I kind of have my eyes on, probably another set of Envies. And if I do that and I still feel the same way, I'm gonna sell the bike. So, and I'll just get a shorter travel 27.5. So maybe I wonder what bike Robert would buy if he was looking for a short travel 27.5.
Dude, if you buy a stinking 5010 or whatever dumb bike that short travel 27.5, that like that's I just won't even say anything. It's dumb.
You're not feeling it, huh?
You know me. Say 27.5 and I'm like, oh, sorry. Oh, my mom's calling. Sorry guys. I can't hang out with you anymore. Yeah.
Have you ridden any of the mullet bikes?
No, why would I? Why? That's like That's like somebody being like, have you ever done black tar heroin? I'm like, no, I don't do hardcore drugs. Okay. Have you tried ecstasy? No. Like, I'm not going to try ecstasy. Like, I feel like that's like way worse. Well, it's not as bad as black tar heroin. I'm like, yeah, but it's garbage. Like, you're throwing your life away. Just stop. And that's what I feel about every time I see mixed wheeled sizes. I'm like, just stop. Like, we all know 29 is the future, unless you're a DH rider. If you're a DH rider, 27.5 rear, 29 front. Shy of that, everybody, either you're stuck in the olden days, you're stubborn as heck, Robert, or you're just don't have enough money to buy a 29er. And I get you. I'm with you. So
I don't know, man. I heard you give this same kind of like layout about e-bikes a couple of years ago, and now you got like 4 of them in your garage. So
yes, I do. I have very high-end mountain bike e-bikes that I definitely take on mountain bike trails.
I bet you you're gonna have an electronic freaking an e-mullet this time next year right there behind you. I'm gonna be like, see?
You mark my words. You mark my words. If in the next 5 years I have purchased with my own money an e-mullet, you can chop off anything that classifies me as a gender one way or another. You just chop it all off. Chop my leg off. Just punch me in the face. Just kill me.
Yeah, that'd be
just
kill me. I'll just make a little like Instagram clip of this conversation. We'll just blast it out to the world then.
Oh, dude.
So, yeah, I can only imagine. So I see you got that 100,000 subscriber plaque in the background there, man. That's rad, dude. How did that feel? Yeah, it's that side over there.
I don't. Is it? Oh, there it is. There we go. Yeah, it took me a second, dude. Honestly, it was anticlimactic actually. Yeah, and I got it. Because I got it about March 2020, which there was just a little bit of things happening at that point. I think it was after that. Yeah, I got it probably April 2020, and but at that point, like, I think for me, like, I think 1,000 subscribers was a huge mark.
Yeah.
Then it was like 10 or 25, and then it was 50, and then I was like, whoa, like 100,000. And about when I hit it, I realized nothing is going to change. I'm not going to get a pay. Like, YouTube doesn't mail me a check. Like, congrats, here's $100. Like, all they do is send me a plaque. So for me, since YouTube hasn't been my full-time dream, that plaque is just it's cool. Like, it's like, so for me, like, it wasn't like a change everything. For me, I honestly like just see it as like, I knew I could do it and I did it, which was pretty cool. So yeah.
That's rad, man. I look forward to the day that I get close to getting it and then quit.
You can have mine, dude. I'll mail it to you. I mean, throw it up there.
Like, scratch out daily and just like biker.
Dude, just keep it daily and people will watch your videos and be like, oh, he's got the plaque. Oh, is this his second channel? Must be.
I think, it must be. I think I'm just gonna make my own.
Yeah.
Just make it like, I could probably go and like get some like glass one made or something like that and have it in the background and be like, dude, if you didn't get the 14,500 freaking subscriber glass plaque, you're out of the loop, man.
yeah, exactly. Like, ooh, next time, buddy.
They only pick good channels to get this one.
Dude, like, make a whole like reveal unboxing video. Like, YouTube sent me something real special.
Yeah. They called me up. They're like, dude, you need to be checking your mail, man. We've never seen a channel grow this slowly. And we feel like you deserve something for the amount of work that you put in.
Dude, I will say, like, the plaque, like, every now and then I'll like just be working in the garage and I'll look at it and I'll be like, man, like, I'll think, like, not to get too like philosophical, but I'll be like, I wanted that so bad, and yet now here I am, and I'm like, if it broke tomorrow, if somebody stole it, I would just be like, oh well, like, it's all good.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like, call me a lame-o. That's just how I feel about it now. So anyway,
But you definitely had the hunger for it at one point, you know.
Dude, I used to.
That's what is actually interesting. You know, I wonder if 17 years from now when I finally get mine, that I'll be like, man, this is it. Now I can retire. I'm going to quit my job. They're like, no, you're quitting your job because you're actually old enough to retire, Robert.
Dang it.
Damn. I knew I was going full-time YouTube one of these days.
Yeah. But no, I did have the fire, man. I used to make 2 and 3 videos a week, and I would sit in my garage. Some videos that have some of my most views is like, okay, I got to make something this week. How do you store your bike? All right, guys. All right. And I remember I would sit down, like think of it, write down like 3 thoughts, film in like 20 minutes and edit it. And an hour later be like, cool, made another video. I'm grinding. I put another coin and I'm grinding away, and it's working. And it worked.
Yeah. What do you think the secret to your success was? I remember there was a point when I was like more subscribers than you, and I was like, dude, you're gonna have way more than me in no time, dude. And you were like, no.
Yeah, it would be funny now to go and rewatch the first time that I was on a live stream with you and that interview. Yeah, because I was like, this is so cool. Like this guy Robert, he was on BKXC's channel, and then I met Brian, and I was like, that's BKXC, right? Like,
total fan, right?
Yeah. What was the question? I missed it.
The secret to your success was.
Sorry. It's like I just don't. I just like don't even care about anything that like in the middle of this interview. I'm like, what? Why am I here? Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. I think this
is a shitty interviewer. Just
no. I think the secret to my success was like I've told so many people this, but it is true. Make videos that you would want to watch. And I would just make videos about things I had discovered or tips that I had learned for like advancement or like reviews on bikes or why I put certain things on my bikes. And every time it was things I would personally take the time to watch. And so I think it was that. And then the other thing, like I can't help but be genuine. Like I am, and I don't know if that sounds narcissistic, but I am who I am. Like, and so like, I'm very opinionated. I have a lot of reasons like why I like things or don't like things or how I do things differently. And I think that's what people like the most was like, I'm a real dude. And if you meet me in real life, everything's the same. And I think people resonate with that a lot. And I think that's why I really like Robert, you and I have been good friends over the years and why I like your channel is because you are who you are. And I think that goes such a long way with an audience is just being true to yourself.
Yeah. I totally agree. I must be doing it wrong.
You'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, you're like, yes, you're being very true to who you are, but people don't like that guy.
Well, yeah. I mean, and like, I think there's something very important to say, and I've probably said this on your podcast is like, when it comes to YouTube, there's one of two things, and that's first or best. Either you're the first to do something, and so you have a lot of these people on YouTube that have 10 million subscribers and their content's kind of garbage, and you're like, how do they have 10 million subscribers? Well, they were the first. They were the first scooter back in the day to make out consistent YouTube content, and it grew, right? Or you're the best. Or you came out and like, for instance, like cameras or technology. Like if you want to be an Apple tech reviewer, YouTuber, good luck. But if you are the best, if you put in the most work and have the best consistency and cover things instantly, that will get you the most subscribers too. And so for me, I think I struck while the iron was hot. I jumped on when you could before it was too late, and 1,000 other mountain bike YouTube channels came out. And I think that was the difference. And the very first content I made, since I was such a consumer of YouTube, I figured a couple things out really quick. Engaging thumbnails, engaging titles, get to the point right away, and give people helpful information that they're not looking for, but they want, they when they read the title, they're going to want to click it. And so like, I think right time, right place, that right off the bat helped me grow. I think in the first year, I was like 30,000 subscribers. So I think that's what caused that.
Yeah. It's definitely. You were there, right at the beginning. So I think I was in that original crew, And looking back, I don't think my content was as good as I thought it was at the time. And the other thing is I had really good momentum. And by the time I ran into this burnout phase. I don't remember what happened. I remember there were some things going on in my life or whatever. And I think I just had for whatever reason, I burned out. And it was while my channel was growing well. And I think at that point I struggled for the next year to figure out what was the right balance of YouTube and personal life. And I think because of that, I kind of missed the boat. You know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe my content just wasn't good. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I feel like at this point, I'm definitely making pretty good content. I have a decent amount of followers, so it's not I make jokes about, not being successful or whatever. But I mean, you think about 14,000 people, that's a freaking baseball stadium, that's a shit ton of people. You know what I mean? That you can't, it's really hard being a YouTuber and actually realizing how many people it is that you're talking to. You know what I mean? You're like the video I was talking about, the last 90-second review has 1,000 views right now. If I had 1,000 people standing in front of me, listening to me talk for 5 minutes, I'd be like, wow, that was a lot of people. And on YouTube, I'm like, holy crap, 1,000 views. This sucks.
Yeah, it's an odd thing too, because your brain can't comprehend it. And for YouTube, it's not views that strikes that drive for more necessarily.
Yeah.
So a video I'll put out, it's my last video, 100,000+ views, and 100,000 people watch that. And even saying it now, I was I never sat down and realized, oh wow, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Or one or two of my videos has hit 1 million views and 1 million people. I'm like,
that's all the people in San Francisco or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you don't sit down to process it, because that's not what, I'll be straight. For me, that wasn't what motivated me. Yeah. It was the paycheck and getting more money. And seriously, and so for me, it's the more videos I put out, or if an old video got picked up by the algorithm and I saw the bigger paycheck, I was like, cool, I'm doing something right. And whatever I was doing in that moment when the paycheck went up, I'm like, cool, I'll keep doing that. So for me, it wasn't the views as much as what you get out of the views. Yeah. And you get numb. So anyway.
Yeah. It's really weird. It's a strange thing to to think about, and it's definitely not, it's not in your thought process when you start, when you start, at least for me, I was just hungry to make videos. I don't even I remember distinctively telling my friends, if I could make enough money to buy one bike part in a year, then it was worth it. You know, and that was really that was where my bar was at. I mean, sure, there was a part of me that was watching BKXE quit his job and was like, that'd be rad. You know what I mean? But I don't really think that was that wasn't in my set of goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really, it was just I don't know if you're the same way as me or not, but when I get into something new, I usually dive in, and it was a new shiny ball that I've never had before. And I couldn't I guarantee you, Katie was probably so sick and tired of hearing about YouTube for my first 3 to 6 months. I would say at least the first 3 months. I don't think I could have a conversation that didn't circle back to YouTube somehow. I would talk about some video that I saw. I talk about something that I was working on, or some camera, or you know what I mean? It just it fully took over everything that I did. I think that's why I probably ran into the burnout too, where it was just oh my God, I have done nothing with my time except for make videos. I was riding bike, but I was riding bike to make videos. You know what I mean? It was that was it. There was nothing else. that I wanted to do. I mean, and that's partly my personality though too, you know. So
dude, I'm the exact same way. And I'll never forget sitting down with my wife and she's like, this is a lot of time and you're buying a lot of camera equipment. And I'm like, babe, one day you're going to laugh at what you're saying right now because it's going to be worth it. I'm like, I'm going to get a free bike or something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then like literally a year later, I was like, remember when I said it was going to be worth it? And like, I didn't really believe it, but now like, yeah, it was worth it.
Yeah.
But no, I hear you. Like that initial drive and jumping in and going for it. And like, all you think about, like, yeah, dude, it hits you. It's pretty fun. Speaking of going all in, I'm about to open another beverage and it's time to talk about, Robert, your experience with, what, can I introduce this first?
Yeah, go for it. I'm going to grab something to drink while you're doing that.
I hope Paul the Punter is still listening. So all of you guys who know me know I am obsessed, like absolutely obsessed with sparkling water. And I love all the flavors of sparkling water, any like sort of carbonated beverage, I'm just down for. Some of you may not know, I also really enjoy beer as well. But I don't like drinking copious amounts of beer for what should be obvious reasons. But like, I love having a.
What's obvious?
I love having a beer every day or every couple of days. Like I love it. I love the taste. I love the carbonation. It's great. Well, since like eating healthier and trying to be healthier, I realized, man, beer like is just full of calories, like just a ton. And I was like, I wonder if they have beer that's less calories. And so I've tried a couple of like non-alcoholic beers and they just taste like, me and my wife have both tried it because my wife likes beer too. And every time we're like, it's not bad. Like it tastes like an IPA, but it's like there's something missing. And every time my wife's like, yeah, the alcohol. I'm like, that's it. And so we're out the other night with some friends at like a brewery. Like it's not a brewery, it's just like a tap house. And I was like, do you guys have any non-alcoholic beer? And she's like, yeah, we have this stuff. And it's Lagunitas and it's called Hoppy Refresher. And I saw this and I was like, is it like near beer? And she's like, no, it's kind of like, and she like looks up and she goes, it's kind of like beer flavored LaCroix. And I look at her and I just stop and I'm like, what did you just say? And she's like, it's like beer flavored LaCroix. I was like, no, it's not. There's no way something is like equal parts LaCroix and like 0 calorie and bubbly and like all the flavors of beer I like. So I opened that thing up and I just went, and I took a sip. I literally stopped and I looked at her and I said, you've created a monster. And then I bought 3 more and I drank all 3 of them in a row. And I was like, I'm not joking to the viewers. This is the best beverage I've ever had in my whole life right here. I'm addicted.
This is the same pitch that he gave me a week or 2 ago. And I was like, you know what? Except for he told me about how it tastes like an IPA and you can like all this like beer flavored tastiness, yumminess. And I was like feeling the same way. I was like, oh my God, if there is a 0 calorie beer or something that I don't even know what you call it, that I could take to like out after I'm riding and drink one or 2 or 16 of those instead of real beer, that would be actually maybe beneficial for my weight loss story. So I was like, you know what? I should buy some and review it. And I was actually planning on doing a 90-second review video with that being like the first time I tasted it. However, I have another friend who likes the LaCroix just as much as Josh. You guys know Richard from Stickered is a big LaCroix fan. And I was over at his house and we did some fun riding and I had some real beers. And Richard doesn't drink anymore, so he grabbed some of those from the store. And I was like, man, I really want to try those. I think I actually saw it in the store. I pointed out, and he's like, you know what? I'll grab some of those. And he gave me the same pitch that you did about how it like tastes like beer and it's so good and blah 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 blah. Let me tell you right now, I hate LaCroix as much as Josh says he loves it.
Oh
Like,
gosh,
it is
no,
disgusting to me. Like,
no.
I take a drink and it makes me feel like instantly I want to puke. Like, there is nothing about it that I find even like slightly entertainingly possibly good. Nothing about it. And every
Have
time
you
in
heard?
my life,
Have you heard me describe what LaCroix like? It tastes like you have a perfectly good cup of water, and then somebody ate fruit and then burped into your water. That's what
I
it
don't.
tastes like.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna keep my. I'm gonna bite my tongue. Let me finish my story.
Sorry, sir.
No,
Sir.
right. I'm very good at interrupting people, so I'm glad you did it to me. So this is the deal. I went into tasting this thing thinking that it was going to taste remarkably like a great beer with 0 calories. And I took the biggest, I already had 4 or 5 beers, chug of this stuff, and it hit the palate, and everything inside of me said, spit this the fuck out. It's so bad. And I swallowed it just because I was half drunk already. And I thought the very first thing that came to my mind was, I can't do that video. I cannot drink this ever again.
Robert, here's the problem. You drank it after drinking other beers.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's what's the equivalent? That's like
I feel like
eating buttered bread and then eating like a low calorie cracker. That's like eating the richest ice cream and then like eating styrofoam flavored, like that's flavored like ice cream. It's like, of course it's gonna taste like garbage.
I don't know. It had all of the taste of sparkling water that I have hated from the bottom of my soul my entire life. That's what it had in it. It was like full to the brim of nastiness. I don't know how you guys like that stuff. Katie drinks that stuff. Like, oh my God, it's horrible. Like that would be like, like people are like, oh, what happens to you in hell? Like you have to do whatever you hate the most all the time. That would be
ride 27.5 wheels. Yeah.
Right.
What?
You would be riding a 27.5 bike. I would be drinking LaCroix. That's exactly where my life would start at. They'd be like, oh, good to see you, Robert. Have some hoppy refresher.
Well, anyway, to your listeners, if you like LaCroix and you like hoppy, like the taste of hops, then this is like the slightest taste of beer in a LaCroix. It's amazing.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I don't know how you do it, honestly.
Dude, my wife tasted it. She's like, that's the best thing ever. And I was like, you can't have them. They're mine.
You should go talk to your doctor together.
Yeah.
See, there's probably something wrong with you guys.
Me, Kristen, and Richard walk into a doctor's office. I think there's something wrong with us. Are 3 of you? Don't worry. It's not that. It's not that. Anyway.
My friend Robert said.
Yeah.
So I see you got the little kid's bike up there. Is that like a little Strider or something like that hanging up on the wall?
Oh, dude, that yeah. So that is a pedal bike. Next to it is a Strider bike. But what my son Eli has, that's really sick. I'll grab it. It's kind of cool.
Okay. So if you guys haven't seen Josh's garage, he's got a couple of shelves behind him just full of stuff, which is actually really good for me on this channel because then I can just talk about whatever I see. Oh, that's a rad bike. It looks like a little baby dirt jumper with some big fat tires.
Because it is. It's a Commensal. Commensal makes the raddest kids bike, and it has a disc brake on the back. It has one wheel, and you can pedal it backwards, which is way ahead of where kids should be.
Yeah.
But I threw a hydraulic Shimano disc brake on here, and so it like as soon as my son first hit the brakes, he was skidding everywhere, and he loved it. But this thing is rad, and kids bikes, man. Like,
how much is that?
I think it was like $380.
Oh, wow. It's kind of pricey for a kid's bike. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very pricey, but the nice thing about it is kids' bikes hold their value like no other.
Yeah, they do.
So he'll ride it, and then his little sister will ride it. And once they're done with it, we'll probably sell it for $300.
Yeah. I always gave those things away. I don't know why, but I don't know. I always felt like it was like best to like, I don't know. I just always gave them away. You know what I mean? It's like because I bought nice bikes for my kids too when they were young, like that. Like, definitely spent probably close to that, like buying like a Marin or something like that I could get them to understand how to shift or to have, like actually be a good bike. Because, I think when you're a person that rides a lot of bike, where like, yeah, they're worth what they cost, right?
Yeah.
Even though I had the whole conversation about the e-bikes, but like, so like with them, I was like, hey, I'll buy this good bike. Both my kids will ride it, and then eventually I'll give it away, and like I think my friend, after like that one Marin that I was thinking about, like the friend that I gave it to, like went through like 3 of his kids or something, 2 or 3 of his kids. I think he gave it away too. It's like, that's kind of crazy. That thing has like its own life,
Yeah.
But definitely worth it.
I'm all about passing them on, but like these ones are cheap ones.
Yeah.
But this one, I was like, I don't know. We'll see when the time comes, right? Somebody might need it, and then it works.
Usually,
out to give it away.
Usually, what happens to me is like it's in the garage like for a while because I'm like lazy and procrastinate actually selling it for like 2 years, and then I'm just like one day somebody's like, "Oh man, I need to get a bike for my kid," and I'll be like, "Ooh, I can get rid of that thing in my garage."
It's only been a day. I mean, 2 years I've been supposed to get rid of this. Perfect timing. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's probably the real reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, who knows? So how's the boy doing? Is he how old is he now?
So Eli will be 5 in November.
Oh wow! So he's like, is he in kindergarten this year or next year?
He's in preschool. Yeah.
So he's preschool still. So next year was like the big year going to big boy school. That's fun. That's super fun.
Yeah. No, he's stoked, and dude, he loves biking, and he's a little ripper for being a 4-year-old. Like,
yeah,
he shreds. Like he has a bunch of cousins who are older than him, and so whenever they visit us, we always tell them to bring their bikes. And Eli like slays all of them. Like 9-year-olds, he's like, check this out. That goes full speed, like rams on the brake. I was like, and they're like, how'd you do that? He's like, hydraulic brakes. He doesn't say that. He's like, my brake. Anyway.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, he's rad, dude.
That's hella cool. Yeah, I have a buddy that has a real young kid right around that age. He might be a little bit younger too. Like he's like probably like 4 or something like that. And he's a little ripper, man. And you see kids like that, and you're like, wow, man, that's pretty rad, to have that like skill set at that young age. So hopefully he sticks with it,
Oh yeah, I've already taken him to the trails, like green trails. Yeah. And he's got, at that age, they're so small and so low to the ground. He's got no fear. It's like big bumps, like things like that. My wife wouldn't roll over on her bike. He just was like, well, okay. And he's like, wow, that was bumpy. I'm like, yeah, dude, like you sent it. Like, it's pretty rad.
Yeah. It's something about that age. They definitely don't have much fear. Like almost like to the extent of like, you could really injure yourself, and you don't look at it that way at all. That's
yeah. He definitely fell off. Like, how trails, like when there's a hillside, you cut into them, and so you can kind of fall off. If you like go off the trail, you're gonna like tumble down. Yeah, he definitely went way too slow one time at like a peak of one of those points, and then like I was like, oh shoot, please don't like lean. It fell down. He freaked out. He was fine. I was definitely trying not to laugh, and he was in tears, and he's like, I was too close to the edge. I'm like, yeah, dude, yes you were. No fear. Good times.
Yeah, that's fun, man. Enjoy it, dude. It's unbelievable how fast it goes. My daughter left for college in August, and so that's those of you that don't know, I have 2 kids, so she was my youngest, and it's really weird that like I'm at that point in my life where both my kids are gone, and you look back on the whole experience, and I remember when they were born thinking like, man, it's like, this is at least the next 18 years I'm doing this, this is my new job. And it seems like a really freaking long time. And then like you're at the spot when the job's over, and you're looking back, and you're like, where did that go? Like it went like, I don't know how to explain it. You know, it's just crazy.
Yeah, it goes by too fast, man. And like, that's also part of the reason I definitely slowed down on the channel is like, I do want to spend more time with my kids.
Yeah.
And just, for me, every Saturday I would try to film for like more than half the day. And so doing that and editing and trying to be healthy and work out, like all of it adds up a ton. Way too quick.
Yeah, it definitely does, man. And it's like, if you have the personality like we do, from what you said earlier, it's really easy to find yourself in a spot where you kind of forget about that, you know? And I think that was part of the thing that whenever I had like my burnout like period, where it was like I realized what I was ignoring, you know? And I didn't want to be that person, you know? And so it was, but I also didn't want to give up my channel. And that's kind of when, I think around that time is when I actually first started doing the biker bar, because I was like, oh, I can do these like interviews and I can like have some kind of content on my channel and it'll like give me time to not be working on a video. You know what I mean? That's back when it was not its own channel. And here we are now. I feel like I have a pretty good like balance to it now, but I don't know, man. Sometimes you're like, at least for me, I go through these like peaks and valleys with how I feel about YouTube, where sometimes I'm like, you know what, tomorrow I'm gonna make a video, tell everybody I'm done. You know, and then other days I'm like, this is rad, dude. I'm so stoked that I'm still doing this, you know, like, and I don't know if like it's normal to go that far up and down with it, or if it's like just me, you know what I mean? I don't know. And like, that's at least like, I can't tell you how many times I've thought today's the day I'm quitting doing YouTube, you know?
Yeah. I resonate with that a ton. And it's something I've been debating for probably over a year. Yeah, probably a year and a half. And what I came to the point too, and I need to make a video to update it, but part of the reason I haven't is my new philosophy on making videos, but I do just need to make one. Is a couple of my favorite YouTubers are a guy named William Osman, and then he has a buddy, Michael Reeves. Everybody knows Michael. He made like the robot that can perform surgery. Like he's like super vulgar, like drops the F-bomb all the time. Kind of like another biker channel I know. Anyway, super entertaining. And both these guys, from everything I can tell, they have zero rhythm for when they put out videos. Yeah. They just wait until they have good content and then put it out. Yeah. And for me, I realized like having like FSA is still currently a sponsor for me through this year. And in my contract, I'm supposed to make a video for them every month. And that always weighs on me in the back of my head. Yeah. Like, I'm supposed to be doing this. Like, even if I make a banger, like it's like 1 million views, like I still am supposed to make one every month. And it's like, but if I make a banger that gets 1 million views, and that's better than all the videos over a year that wouldn't get that many views. Right. And so for me, I realized like, that's the way I want to approach YouTube from now on. I don't want to make any videos that I don't love to make and that I think are just really good. And if they fail, I'm proud of it, and that's enough. If they do well, they did well because I'm proud of it and I knew it was going to be enough. And I haven't had that many videos that I felt that way. I did when I first started, because when I first started, it was like I have all these ideas and I'm so stoked. And right now I'm in a phase where like there's not a lot I'm stoked on. But even sharing like about these dumb e-bikes, you're like, that's a great idea. Like giving away 10 e-bikes. I was like, I know. And if you know me, and like, you know me, Robert, and like a lot of the people do, it's like, that's me. And that's something that would get me excited to like make a video. So for me, that's my new mantra of YouTube, is like, for my, like, people have been asking me, like I said earlier, like, are you alive? Is everything okay? I'm like, yeah, everything's actually great. Like it's better because I'm waiting till it's something I love and just can't wait to do. And when I do it, you guys will feel that and it will be worth it.
Yeah. I also resonate with what you said, because every time I have something I'm obligated to do, I really don't want to do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like it just like, oh, I got this set of wheels, I have to do this review, you know, or something like that. You know what I mean? It's just like, it just weighs on me, and for whatever reason, like, it doesn't motivate me. Like, my personality is like, procrastinate those things that you feel like you're obligated. You know, I don't know why. You know what I mean? So like, then it just like turns into this like vicious cycle of me procrastinating and not doing it, then feeling bad because I'm not doing it, and then not doing it because I'm feeling bad, and like, it just
dude.
It just like goes on and on and on. So I think, you know, yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting because it's like, on one hand, I was like, oh, I want to get some sponsors so I can like make some more money with the channel. But then on the other hand, I'm like, if I really do that, like, then like I may have something like what you have, you know, where it's like, you have to do this much content. And it's like, I don't know if I actually want to do that. And that's why I personally like truly enjoy the people that I have, or am thankful for the people that I have on Patreon, because they're really like, if there wasn't that bit of money coming in from Patreon, I 100% would have quit a long time ago. And I know, like, I've had some other people, I think Paul said in the past, he's like, you make it sound like you only do it for the money. And it's like, well, the money motivates me. So like, that's, I mean, it is what it is. Like,
yeah,
you know, like I for whatever reason, that, you know, that does motivate me. So, and yeah, so it's interesting. So I really appreciate those people on Patreon, and they keep the channel alive, you know. And so,
yeah,
I kind of lost my train of thought what I was going to say, but
I get it, man. Like, and it does, like, the money does definitely apply to it, because it's that it gets you out of that loop of like, I have to do this, I'm obligated, and it's like, oh, cool, people are supporting me, like, they like what I'm doing, and it means the world.
Yeah. So I think the other thing though too is kind of like, that's sort of where I'm at with my videos now, and I had some stuff that I like needed to get done. I don't remember what it was. I had a couple edits that I had to get done, and then it sucks because I always want to be where I want to be, which I'm hoping after I finish this video I'm working on now is where I'll be, is like, I always do best whenever I went and I filmed something or I rode something, and I can actually like come back and like that next day or two, like actually start the project. Because whenever I sit on footage, like the thing that I'm editing right now, like when I did this ride, I was freaking over the moon of it. Like, you know what I mean? So I was like super anxious to see the footage and to put it together. But because I had other things that I had to do, like, it was, you know, 2 months or whatever until I got to it. Right. And here I am now, and I'm editing the video, and it's definitely like, it's not as fun. You know, it's more of like a job kind of, instead of like as being fun. And I want it after this video to like not really plan on a video, and kind of like what you were saying, until it's like, no, this is actually, I'm going to go film today, and when I get done with that, I'm making a video out of that, you know. And because that actually works the best for me personally, whenever I can like film and like walk straight into the computer and get to it, you know. Because otherwise I just lose my interest, you know.
There's a healthy part of that process to keep the stoke high. That procrastination or life like can kill at times, and like we've all been there, man. Like I've been there so many times where it's like, I just have zero energy, and then a month goes by and I'm like, I don't even know if I want to do this anymore. In fact, that was my Walmart e-bike video. I think we had to, like, because of weather and junk and like filming schedule with my editor at the time, like it just didn't work out until like a month later to go and ride the bike. And I was like, I don't even know if I want to ride this stupid thing on hard trails. I'm going to hurt myself. And I was like, that's probably worth it.
That's it's definitely interesting, you know. So I think that's part of like the beginning of having your channel, and like getting to wherever you get with YouTube. You either get to a spot where you figure out like actually how you can continue to do it like on your terms,
Mm-hmm.
or you quit, you know, and maybe your terms are like Seth's, like bang out a bunch of shit, awesome edits all the time. Like maybe that's it, but maybe it's, you know, once a month, maybe it's every 3 months, who knows, you know what I mean? But I think the one thing, I mean, outside of Patreon that really keeps me like in it is that I don't want to like leave the community. You know what I mean? And like, it's like, I really enjoy being a creator with all of you guys and like talking about it. And like, it feels cool whenever people are like, oh, you got a YouTube channel? Like, I didn't expect an old fat dude like you to have one, you know? Like,
that resonates with me so much, man. Like I feel the same way. Like I don't want to lose my subscribers. Like I don't want to like I love riding on a trail. People are like, whoa, you're daily. Yeah. Like I love that, dude.
Yeah, it's super rad.
That's something that's really special. That is a bummer about scaling back or quitting, so to speak, is like you feel like you're gonna lose that.
Yeah. It's definitely and it's crazy when people come up to you and like tell you like, oh man, you got me into riding, or you're like, what? Like I didn't make a video like, hey, I want to inspire people that don't ride bikes to get on out and ride bikes. You know what I mean? So it's like when somebody comes up and tells you like watching your videos made them want to go buy a mountain bike, you're like, what were you watching my channel for? Like, I don't even understand, you know?
Well, I was YouTubing fat people eating cereal, and then it was fat people on trampolines, and then all of a sudden there was fat people on mountain bikes, and yours popped up, and I was like, maybe I don't have enough money for a trampoline, but I have a bike, so I did it, right?
Yeah. It's just
that was a comment somebody left on my channel. So sorry.
Was it? Okay. Yeah. I was resonating with.
Yeah.
So, are you coming down for Sea Otter?
No, I'm not.
No. Okay. I was gonna say it'd be cool to see you. Are you coming down for Sedona?
Yes. The plan is 100% for me to go to Sedona, and I am super stoked about that.
What's your favorite ride that you've done in Sedona?
Oh, dude. Honestly, like going and riding the white line right away was pretty up there as far as fun, just because like you don't have many moments of like adrenaline pumping. I don't that much in mountain biking, but that one was like, I've got to do this, and this is rad. For me, I would say on all of it. I love the different terrain. I love the landscape. I love the red rock. Like, every double black there is like a dream. Riding Hangover with Paul and the other goobers that day was really fun. So that was a good day. And then I went and rode with RC on, what was the trail? I don't even know.
Yeah.
That's how much I remember.
I hear you. I think it's beautiful there.
What's the other double black?
Hangover or Highline?
Highline. That was it Highline? Yeah, and Highline was really fun. Like I enjoyed that too.
Yeah. It's like kind of a pretty technical climb, and then like gets just like kind of out in the open, and then it gets pretty gritty on the like some rocky, like techie downhill stuff. Yeah. That one's a pretty fun one. I definitely enjoy that trail. I think it is like gorgeous there. Like I always tell people when somebody asks me about Sedona, the first thing I tell them is every direction you turn your head looks like a postcard.
Yep.
You know, it's like, that's the best way that I can explain it. Like, it doesn't matter what direction you're looking, it looks like a postcard. And that's really rad. I like the riding. It's super fun, but I don't know, it's something about the event. I don't know what it is about that event. I just really like the vibe. You know what I mean? And it's like small enough that you feel like everybody's there together. Like even like the people in the booths, you're like, oh dude, let's go swing by Tasco. And like, you know what I mean? It's like, you're like, you don't have to like tell anybody like, hey, meet back here at 3:00. It's like, go do whatever the hell you want to do. We'll bump into each other. Guarantee it. You know what I mean? And like, it's rad at the end of the day. Everybody's kind of like over by the beer tents and the band's playing. And I don't know. It's just a really fun time. As far as the riding goes though, I don't know what my favorite would be. The one thing I don't like is that I'm such a freaking Northern California guy that's used to descending for miles. I always joke that Arizona is like climbing down. Like,
Yeah, it is a definitely more like technical climbing. I remember watching Steve's videos, like Hardtail Party Steve, and he'd be like, I'm gonna go clear all these climbs. And I was like, you enjoy working on a climb? Like that sounds like I'd rather get kicked in the nards. Like, why would I ride up so I can go down? Nobody dreams about climbing up a trail. Everybody dreams about going down a trail. So
right.
Get it.
Yeah. It's funny when you're there riding with the Arizona guys and they're like, all right, dude, we're gonna get the downhill on, and you're like, oh sweet. And then like 17 seconds later you're climbing and you're like, I thought we were going down. And they're like, no, wasn't that rad? And you're like, what are you talking about?
That's it? That what are you guys doing? But no, like I agree with you, but I don't know, man. I just love all of it. And you nailed it. Like that festival, it's not Sea Otters is nuts. And that's mainly because like it's Lycra and it's road cycling. And side note, I'm super curious how Sea Otter is going to be this year with COVID going on. Like who knows how that is. And with Sedona, I did hear they're having it in March again, right?
Yeah,
for 2022. So that's going to be interesting, I think, having the two back to back.
Yeah, I really don't understand why they did that. Like, I really don't. Like, it's so close, you know, and there's a lot of people that travel for that, you know, and like even for me, I'm like, man, do I want to fly right back down there in like a couple months, you know, like I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely fun. It is something about that event. I don't know. Sea Otter, like you were just saying, it's like it's like sensory overload there. There's like too many things to look at, you know, where you start feeling like drained from looking at things.
And Sea Otter is like every biking company ever. The Sedona Mountain Bike Fest is like every mountain bike company. Like literally, there's so many cool mountain bike companies, like, and they're all super down to earth, good people. Yeah. And like they're all at Sea Otter too, like no doubt about it. But there is like this, it's just your people there. Like there's not, nobody's wearing, well, cross country people are wearing Lycra. No one's has a road bike, right? Like just want to be cool. It's just, it's rad, dude. Something special.
Yeah. No, it's a good time. And I just really enjoy, like, I think because it's so small, it's real easy to bump into a bunch of your friends and like just hang out with everybody. And like Sea Otter, you could go there with your friend and actually like not see them for 3 hours. You know what I mean? Like, and be like, oh, dude, meet me back at the car. You know what I mean? Like not even see them at all. So yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Oh man, what else? I was gonna tell you something, and now I can't remember what the hell it was. Oh well.
About Sedona or Sea Otter?
No, it's like something popped in my mind. I was gonna tell you. I thought you would think it was entertaining, but I can't remember what. For some reason I thought it had something to do with Moonlight Leatherfoot, but
I was gonna say probably something with Zach and his bike being broken. So
yeah. So he'll be down there this year too. So that'll be you'll be able to catch up with them then.
Which is awesome, dude.
Right. So what kind of riding? You said you're doing a lot of gravel riding lately?
Yeah, I've been riding my gravel bike more, just trying to get miles in and just trying different.
Are you actually like riding it like on trail kind of stuff, or because I have a gravel bike, I really just use it like a road bike.
I would say like 70%, 80% of my riding's on the road with the gravel bike, but I do go up on our local mountain bike trails and hit up the green trails, and it's really fun.
Wow. I always like I've taken it out a couple of times to like an area around here that's kind of like, let's just say, lame on a mountain bike, and I feel like when I'm on it, I'm like trying to like hit my dropper and that's not working, and like it's like really weird, you know. And I'm like, maybe I would like it more if I had a dropper post for my gravel bike. I'm not sure.
I think you would. I don't have a dropper post, but it's just like terrifying, and that's kind of part of the fun. Is like I'm gonna die, but I like that. So But no, man, like I've been doing gravel riding and trying to run some more just to be healthier. And yeah, dude, just like typical mountain biking too. I still mountain bike. I ride my bike every day, but I mountain bike 4 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been, I don't know, the last, like, I'm actually just coming off of it. I had like a 2-week stint where I was like, I don't even fucking like mountain biking anymore. I'm gonna sell my shit. You know, like,
did you really?
Like I wasn't quite that far, but it was like I did not want to ride at all.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was. Like it wasn't like a month or so ago, we had smoke really bad from all the fires that was going on, and like that you would think would be like one of those things where it's like, okay, I can understand why you didn't want to ride. It's like nasty outside. But that wasn't it at all. For some reason though, I just like I could not get myself to like go. I didn't care. Like I couldn't like talk myself into going on the mountain bike ride. I couldn't talk myself into going on a road ride. Like just lost all my motivation for it. But it seems to be coming back. So I'm stoked about that. So I apparently have been efficiently going through tires lately. So that's my new thing.
Oh, really?
I don't know what it's just like crappy luck. Because, you know, it's like one of those things where it's like, dude, I haven't freaking ripped a tire in like a year. And then all of a sudden it's like you do like 3 of them in like consecutive rides, you know, like yeah. I ripped the tire on my tall boy. I ran over something. I was in Santa Cruz going down the road, just started the ride, ran over something. You know, when you hear the air coming out of your tire so fast that you're instantly like, that one's done. Yeah. It was like that. Like, I don't even know what I hit. It had to be like some kind of glass or something because it just like sliced it open. Like all the air in the tire was gone in like 3 seconds. You know what I mean? Like that's...
Have you tried to use a rubber patch to patch those?
You know what? Somebody on my Instagram, because I posted a picture of the tire, said that you could get like a car patch for that. And I was like, I wouldn't trust it. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, that's kind of stupid. Like if it works for a car, like of course it would work for your bike. And I should do that. I that's actually a pretty good video idea there, Josh.
Yeah, and the reason I'm saying is because first off, in the Pacific Northwest, you don't go through tires. Like you just don't.
Yeah.
And so I have never, ever had a detrimental fail to my tires where I couldn't keep riding them.
Really?
And I used the same set of tires for a whole year, like all the time. Yeah. And that's not much to you, but until the other day, I got one on my front tire that was big enough, and I didn't have bacon strip, and I like looked online, and people are like, "Oh, if you're gonna take the tire off and remedy it, just get a rubber tire patch." And so I went to Napa AutoZone, and literally, me being an extrovert, like me and Robert are very similar, like talk to everybody, right? Yeah. I'm like, "Hey, you guys got tire patches?" And he's like, "Yeah, over there." And so I went and picked one up. They're $3. And I come up and I was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna patch up my mountain bike tire." And he's like, "Oh yeah, man, I used to patch up inner tubes, or I'd patch up anything with these things." And some other guys he's like, "Kids, you know, Nancy's these days, they don't even know how to use those things anymore. I'm so happy a young guy is trying to figure this out." And I'm like, "Yeah, but seriously, it's $3 and it comes with enough work to do like 20 patches." And literally 5 minutes later, you let it dry for 24 hours. My wheel's back to new, man. It's perfect.
Oh man, you should have told me that like 2 hours ago before I ordered a new tire. Now I'm definitely gonna go buy one. You talked me into it. I think I might even film it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good one. Because the tire I have on there is still pretty good, and that's the thing that sucked about the one on the tall boy, which I told the guy at the bike shop to go ahead and throw it away. So, anyways, I guess what I was saying is I ripped one on the tall boy. I took it back because I wanted to ride that bike on the whatever ride it was. And I was like, took the bike to the bike shop, bought the new tire, and I just put it on while I was standing there talking to my buddy that works there. And
you put it on?
Yeah, I put it on. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy, right? That's because I'm also cheap. So
yes,
I didn't want to pay for it.
True.
So I'm very lazy, but I'm also very cheap. And apparently cheap is more, I'm more cheap than I am lazy.
Yep. True.
So then the very next ride on my Bronson is whenever I rip the Bronson tire. So I'm like, ugh. And that's that. I have that aggressor on there. It's a rear tire. I really like that tire. Aside from the fact that every time you put it on, you think you have it on backwards. Have you ever seen the tread on that?
I think I have an aggressor. I don't know, but yes,
it looks like the ramp, like it's like pointed like backwards. Like you would think that the way that the little peaks in the middle, you would think that they would be pointing the other direction. And
I swear I have one. Sorry, I'm super. Yeah, I was like, I think it's right
I'll
there.
Keep talking about it while you go look. So like it's just really weird because they're like, it's kind of like the back of an arrow, like the way that they're like kind of pointed out, like diamonds, I guess you would say.
Yeah, this is them.
Like a band. Yeah. So the way that you see them pointing, like the ramps look like they would be going in the front direction. That's actually the backwards direction. Like if you look at the way that thing goes, like it's actually on your tire mounted the opposite direction. That's the guy, isn't it? Or that's
this is an aggressor.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it says it right there, huh? No, it says that's the guy, dude.
No. So yes, this says Ask a Guy. This is what I do to put it on my wall to make it look pretty. This has white Maxxis logos though, and I'll prove it to you so you know I'm not a crazy person.
No, but I mean, it's white, so that means it came from from the factory. So it's not like a retail one, which you have it on a retail thing. So I believe you.
And as you know, I'm as cheap as you are. So
that's awesome that you put it back on there though, so that you can hang it up. I'm actually. Oh yeah. I've been collecting those things. I feel like I want to make some kind of art project out of it.
Oh, here we go.
It is. What do you know?
There's an Esser. So there you go.
Yeah. So. It's actually a really good tire. I was running that with the Ask the Guy up front, and I think that's probably my favorite tire combination right now. However, it's really hard to buy what you want right now, so I can't freaking. I have mismatched stuff all over. I don't have what I want on my bikes.
Yeah, the aggressor is really good for hard dry. So California is where it's really good. It's good here for the summer, but I have a DHR2 and then the aggressor up front, or the Ask the Guy up front, and that's money.
I like that Ask the Guy up front. And one of my friends said this to me, and I didn't realize it until he had said it. But there's this big space in between the center channel of the DHF and the side knobs, and you kind of feel that when you're riding. Like there's a moment of until that side knob catches, and where it's feels a little washy, you know what I mean? And that Ask the Guy doesn't have that. There's little knobs in there, so when you lean it over, it just feels connected the whole time, all the way into as far as you want to lean it over. But I think that's a really good tire. So
I am not the guy to talk about how tires feel or wheel wobbliness. I'm just it has two wheels and it went down the hill.
I don't know how I became that guy. I really don't, because there's a lot about bikes that I have freaking no clue, suspension. People are how much pressure do you put in there? I'm I don't know. They're seriously, how much do you have in there? I had to put the shock pump on my fork the other day to tell my buddy how much air was in there. I was oh yeah, it's at 90. He's 90? How do you have it so low? I'm I don't know. It feels good. He's well, what do you have in the rear? I was I don't know. I put it up to what my weight was when I bought the bike 2 years ago. You know, who knows what's in there now? You know,
yeah, that's me too. A suspension, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, and then God forbid, I accidentally turn a knob and it makes a bunch of clicks, and then I'm oh crap, I'm never gonna. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm feeling for when I'm when you see guys, they click it and they're oh yeah, they click it again. Nope, click it one more. Oh wait, let me do the other click on the bottom, the bottom clicky instead of the top clicky. And then they push it again, and they're oh yeah, it's perfect. And I'm the only thing I can do with those knobs is turn them all the way one direction or the other.
Yeah.
That's basically I can tell the difference between 100% up and 0. And other than that, I have no clue what's happening in the middle.
Robert, you should make your own suspension, like B1 suspension. And it's like, we don't have top clickies. We don't have bottom clickies. We barely have PSI. It works every time. B1 suspension.
Yeah. No clickies. I think that's probably why I liked the lefty. There wasn't a lot of clickies on that. I think there was a rebound and that was it.
Just don't, man. You can't say that word. Lefty 27.5. That I'll quit my job. I'll quit my life. I'll leave my wife. Like that would be the worst.
So if you had a lefty 27.5 mullet e-bike, you would be done.
Oh gosh.
We're laying out Josh's hell right now.
Dude, I would hate all of that. Every single thing about it. Hit it with a sledgehammer.
I don't understand, man. Why don't you like the lefty? What's wrong with the lefty?
What's good about the lefty?
It was an awesome fork. It was light.
They don't make them anymore.
Because of haters like you.
No, because nobody would buy them because they're garbage. Because SRAM
garbage.
and Fox have it all figured out.
I don't know what you're talking about. I will say Fox is pretty dialed though. I have a DVO on my tall boy, and I think I really like that thing. I have not done any clickies on it since one day one of my friends did something to it, and I'm like, oh, that's good.
Yeah, the guys at DVO are awesome, and that makes me want to ride some DVO stuff. I've tried one of their forks before. It was good.
Yeah. I need to get it serviced because I just realized the other day, I'm like, dude, you've had this fork on 3 bikes. I think you should get it serviced. It's like I kind of feel like more like in my mind, it's still that. Oh, that's that new fork I got.
Oh no, my gosh, Robert!
It's not new.
Dude, like I actually get my suspension serviced, so yeah, that's something you should do. At least a lower service. You can do that in your garage, bro.
Yeah, that's one of my friends. When Steve Y was telling me, and he's like, "Oh yeah, dude, you can totally do that." And I'm like, I don't feel like you know who you're talking to.
Air can services are easy, and lower services. I just started recently doing my own lowers. It's very easy.
What do you got to do? How's it go?
Well, you just unscrew a couple of nuts, you drop the lowers down, and then it like lets out a bunch of oil, and then you basically like clean them, check crap, re-lube it, and then inject the right amount of oil and put the caps on, and then you're done. But you need a full service, dude. You need a full rebuild on your fork and probably your shock.
I don't like what you're saying.
Has your fork literally been around for 3 years?
I don't think it's been 3 years, but it's been 3 bucks.
Your pike?
The pike? The one on the Bronson? No, I've only had the Bronson for like a year, so it's only been ridden that long.
Oh,
I don't remember when I bought the Bronson, but I'm talking about the DVO. I had that on the aluminum Chameleon. I had it on the carbon Chameleon, and now I have it on the tall boy.
Oh yeah, dude, get that thing serviced for goodness sakes, man.
How much isn't that stuff expensive? That's the reason I never do it.
Dude.
Oh my god, it's so expensive.
I literally had to buy RockShox oil and suspension cleaner. I think I was out the door for like $20.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, and you should get stuff at cost anyway. So
I don't know about all that.
Have you not found a local bike shop to get stuff at cost with?
No, they don't give it to me at cost.
Just tell them who you are and say, hey, I'll mention your bike shop every now and then on the B1KER podcast. Right now, Joe Schmo Bike Shop could just get free marketing right here.
Yeah, they could. I tried. There's one I tried, and they weren't feeling it.
Oh, dude. Go to the Lost Co. in Bellingham. Thanks to the Lost Co. for all their help. Check them out on YouTube. There we go. Yeah. See? All worth it.
Yeah, I would definitely go to him if I was in Bellingham, which reminds me, I need to come up there and visit because I lost a bet with you. Oh, wow. The chat just got spammed by hot web girls. Like,
dude, I saw that.
Hit really hard with that. Sorry. That caught me off guard. I was like, holy cow, there's a lot of hot web girls coming on. You better get there. Webcams-chat.com. See, they got free promo.
I tried to like mod him, but I realized you haven't made me a mod, so I can't.
I don't even know. Make a comment and I'll make you a mod. I think I can do that on here. I don't even
mod know. Me. There you go.
Right. So I'm just gonna freaking ban you.
No.
So,
but anyway, yes, you've got to come up here, dude.
Yeah, dude. I definitely. Yeah, it won't let me do it here. I have to go on the regular, on the real, and then that's why I never do it, because I was like, I don't know how to. I should be able to like just click on you and oh look, there you are, and because I'm using StreamYard, so I don't have the other thing open, and I can't like add mods. I need to do that though, because somebody else was saying something a while ago, and I was like, oh, I don't have anybody that's like always watching the show to moderate the comments for me. But so we digressed a little bit. I need to come up to Bellingham because I lost that bet with you, and somehow it's been almost a year since we made the bet, and I still haven't made it up there. We'll blame COVID.
Yeah, we'll blame COVID. You'll get up here though.
Yeah, no, but I'm super excited about coming up there. And honestly, I feel like the best time for me to come up there is the summertime, because the dirt here sucks so bad in the summer, and like you guys have good dirt all the time. And when it's like good dirt here in the winter, then I'm gonna be like, I don't need to go anywhere else. I can ride here. It's freaking awesome right now.
Yeah, dude. We had stinking California dirt this year, though. It was moon dust for days. Yeah, it was really bad.
That sucks, man. Yeah, it's I'm looking forward to the rain coming back, because I feel like I'm like riding like super strong right now. And I don't know if you're a Strava person at all, but like it's really fun when you get those PRs. And I know whenever I'm riding super strong and the dirt's shitty, that as soon as the dirt gets good, it's like I'm gonna like be really pinning some stuff. So I'm super excited to see like what times I can get when the trails have good like traction, you know?
Dude, you just brought up a great topic. I have not told you about Strava. I am 100% done with Strava.
Done? Oh yeah.
I canceled my premium subscription. I stopped using it months ago. I'm absolutely done with it.
Why is that?
Because I'll be straight. The real reason is because the times on Strava are just straight bogus. They're just not accurate. And that, like, for me, I used to be obsessed with like my PRs or like racing things really well. And I realized like a couple years ago, like I rode that trail so fast. I felt so good. And you're telling me I'm on a 2.5 minute trail. I'm 10 seconds slower than my PR. And my PR was when I wasn't that good. That can't be right. And then I like have a riding buddy of mine, and he's just like besting me on every single run. And he's like a good friend of mine, and he is not a better rider than I am. But his thing is he rides every day, and he rides like the same trails almost every day.
Yeah.
And then we had a local race here on a Wednesday night, and he rode with me. We were practicing the day before, and I was like, do you want me to lead or do you want to lead? He's like, well, you're faster, so you lead. But I could tell like he thought like, well, my PRs are better than yours on Strava. So I could tell he thought he was going to beat me. And in practice, I was like, all right, I'll go for it. So I just gunned it, and I dusted him. I was gone. And he was like, dude, you dusted me. And we look at our Strava. He got a faster time than me on Strava that day. I'm like, what the heck? And so I realized, I was like, Strava's inaccurate. All I really care about is my elevation and how long I rode and my calorie burn. And I can get that
from Garmin. Yeah.
I can get that on my Apple Watch way better for the calorie burn. Yeah. And I'm tired of the PRs because they're bogus. And like, if you really want to know how fast you are, go to a race. That will tell you how fast you are compared to your friends. So Strava was ruining mountain biking for me. And I realized I feel so much more freedom when I don't use it.
I don't look at it as like the race thing doesn't really apply, because the way I look at Strava is like how fast I am against myself.
But here's the thing. It's not accurate. So even for yourself, like especially, and maybe it's different in California, but here in the trees, it's bogus, man. It doesn't work. And I figured this out. Everyone's PRs around here are because something malfunctioned and some GPS signal made it wrong. And then that's their PR. And it's actually nowhere near how fast they are.
Because you guys are like under a lot of tree, huh?
Yeah, like literally everywhere.
Yeah, maybe that's it, you know? And I don't like, there's really only certain trails that I and like that I really care about what my Strava is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I like it. I really like it. I don't like, and I was a very late adopter. Like I don't even think I had Strava when I first started the channel. Like
Wow.
I just used Garmin, and it was like everybody, always like, I just always heard all these like derogatory Strava kind of comments, so I just didn't really, and it just sounded like it was something that I wasn't into.
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever one of my friends was like, no, dude, you can like just see how you did against your own time, I was like, oh, well, that's kind of cool. And that's kind of what got me into it. But
yeah, and it used to be free, and that was great. And now you have to pay for the premium subscription just to get access to all of it too. And so that as well, I'm like, and again, that's everything is you have to pay money for everything now. But yeah, man, like, yes, you can compete against yourself, but I realized for me, definitely took some of the joy of riding away.
Yeah, I will say that for me, maybe it's because I waited so long to actually do it that it got to be it like for instance, the Confluence Trail. I don't think we rode in Auburn when you were here, did we?
No, we didn't.
That. Like it's like basically like a pretty long little downhill run that's local here, and like where I ride a lot, and for whatever reason, like trying to get my time down on that run, like made that trail fun again. It actually like was to like, I've ridden it so many times that it was getting to be like almost boring. You know what I mean? Where it was like, it just wasn't fun. And it was like when it really, that was more like C-Lock and I made a bet about who could be faster. And it just really drove us to like, just push and like we would like I did a video for YouTube of like how to PR that trail. And the only reason that I made that video was really so that we could come back and have video of from top to bottom where we could sit there and just analyze it. Like we would like sit out in the garage and be like, this 10 seconds, how do you hit that? Do you go around that rock or do you go over that? Do you pedal strike or do you pedal here, or like how far, like every like aspect of that trail the whole way down. And like, I've changed my time on that trail by minutes because of that.
Yeah. And that was the most fun I've ever had with Strava, was me and one of my buddies going head to head on one trail. That was the most fun I've ever had. Every other time, it's not fun. Somebody in the chat made me realize why I actually do like Strava. There is one thing.
What's that?
Anytime, and I'm not joking, anytime I need to find an illegal trail, I always pull up Strava and it helps me find it every single time. So the only thing it's good for is the one thing in the mountain bike community we wish it wasn't good for. And to me, that was like the straw that broke the camel's back, is like every time I'm looking for illegal trails that I know the general vicinity, I can always find them on Strava. And I was like, I probably shouldn't continue to like help that out.
But you can turn the heat map off in settings so that it won't like.
Yeah, you can turn off to not track you with the heat map, but how do we know? Because GPS is tracking you while you're using the app. So you can turn off to have it affect the heat map, but guess what? The heat map's still red there. So
yeah. Who knows? But you mean they're lying to us? I don't want to believe it.
Hey, you know what? I think they could be telling the truth, but at the end of it all, people are always using Strava, and therefore you can always find all the good illegal trails anywhere. I literally have found illegal trails that I'd never heard of on Strava and shown other people because Strava pointed me to them. And my friends are like, these trails are rad. I'm like, I know. I never knew they were here until I looked at heat maps and just started, because that's what I would do. I literally would just like, I wish there was a trail here. Hey, look, there is. And people are like, this is amazing. I'm like, thanks, Strava. And
that's funny. Dude. I don't feel like, I don't know. I've looked at the heat maps a couple of times, but maybe there's just like more like opportunity for road trail building where you live than it is here.
Oh, dude.
I feel like I don't know. Every once in a while, somebody will surprise me and be like, hey, there's some trails over here that I didn't know about. But for the most part, I usually know where they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've never ever ridden an illegal trail. I never will. Don't know where they are. But somebody told me once, for every legal trail in Bellingham, there's an illegal trail.
Yeah.
And there's hundreds of legal trails, and there's a whole lot of I've heard from this friend that there's a whole lot of illegal trails.
I'm about to release a video that's really going to piss a lot of people off. It's kind
Why
of
is that?
because it's about all legal trails. And I don't freaking care. I'm gonna talk about it. So, like, and we'll see how it does. Maybe it's the one that breaks the internet. Who knows?
Is this you griping about them or talking about how you ride them?
Talking about how much I ride them, and freaking clips of all of them.
Yeah, but California illegal trails are different than like our illegal trails.
I mean, in some cases, I don't know. Like,
but is your trail illegal because of where it's at or the difficulty of the trail, or both?
It depends on which ones. I mean, I hit the big ones, right? Like I talk about Santa Cruz, like you see, you know.
Oh, there's no trails there. I don't know what you're talking about.
No trails there. Right? Just freaking hundreds of cars parked along the road every day with freaking bike racks and tailgate pads, right?
No, there's no trails there. There's no mountain biking there.
Yeah. You know, but then I kind of go into like the local stuff, and then I wrap it up with this this spot that I rode over the summer that just blew my mind. Like the best riding I've done in my entire life. And it's like miles and miles of this stuff up there. And it's like, it's not legal either. And who knows, you know, and I mean, I'm kind of giving away the video, but I mean, like, who cares, right? It'll still be fun to watch. Like, I think at the end of it, I'm going to wrap it up with like, trails don't get built unless somebody builds them. So do it either legally or not or whatever. But I like riding bike. I like riding trails, and go out there and be part of the community, you know?
Yeah. And somebody in the chat asked a good question of like, how do you know if a trail's illegal or not? If it's on trail forks, it's probably not illegal. If it's not on trail forks, it probably is. And Robert, to your point, like in Bellingham, there's very much like a culture of like, F everyone who makes our trails known. How could, and for me for a while there, dude, I hate that guy. He showed our trail. He didn't show the entrance. He didn't show the exit. He didn't show any landmarks, but he showed our trail, and you're not supposed to do that. And I'm like, sorry, to clarify, you made a trail where you're not supposed to make a trail. Yeah. And you're mad because I did something I'm not supposed to do on the trail that you created that you weren't supposed to create. Yeah. So you're mad at me for doing the thing for my enjoyment that you do for your enjoyment that we're both. Yes. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, you're an idiot. Shut up. Like, it's fine. As long as I'm not, and this is my feeling. I do not post any illegal trails anymore. I wish I could, because I have never ridden them. But if I did, I would love them. And my big thing, and people are like, you just can't do it, man. And I'm like, no one cares. No one knows. I can Google any illegal trail that I know of and find someone's YouTube video that's not mine. So slow your roll, chill out about it. There's there's all the best trails are in UC, you know, and UC whatever, like Santa Cruz. It's no surprise. We've all seen everybody riding there. Like, just stop it, you know? So,
yeah, I don't understand it. And like, so in the video, I'm not mentioning names specifically, you know what I mean? And I'm not, like you said, entrance exits or whatever. Right. But, so I figure it's going to piss some people off though, just because it's you're not supposed to talk about it. And, I don't know. I feel like I've heard both sides of the stories, you know what I mean? Where like what the argument is. And, I just don't really buy it, you know? And like you said, like, dude, you're doing something illegal and you're like, oh, you're going to get it shut down. No, I'm not going to get it shut down. It's going to get shut down because somebody goes out there and breaks their fucking neck and sues somebody. That's why it's going to get shut down. It's not going to get shut down because some YouTuber made a video about them riding this trail.
Because some YouTuber made another video that will get less views than all the other videos.
Right. Yeah. It's just so I mean, whatever. Like somebody's made an argument, like, well, what if you built that trail and it got shut down? And be like, well, that would suck. Then I guess I would have to go build another one.
Then I probably would build a trail where it wouldn't get shut down. Because if I built trails that have gotten shut down, and I knew this could get shut down. And when it gets shut down, I think, well, I knew it could get shut down. I don't go, whose fault is this? I'm disappointed. It's like, no, I knew that, right? Like, that's why I adopted a trail that will never get shut down, because then I can always work on it.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Start doing some legal stuff, and then you don't have any problems, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely, it's an interesting culture, And then the ones that really confuse the shit out of me are the guys that like build this trail that nobody's supposed to know about except for them and their friends. It's like, wait, you're building a trail that like you don't want anybody to ride. Like the whole reason that like when I've built a trail is like, I want everybody to ride this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I might not make it in a skill set that everybody can ride it. That's not my fucking problem. But like I want people to ride. Like I'm making something that I think is going to be sick. It's kind of like the video thing. It's like, and I don't know. So I think that it's I do really truly believe that if you're in the mountain bike community, that you should do trail work. And you could call me a hypocrite. For years and years and years, I never did anything. I was one of those guys that wouldn't pay for parking. You know what I mean? It's like everywhere that you go that has paid parking, there's always like the spot around the corner that you can park that you can just ride a little bit further and get in for free. I was always that guy,
What are you, Dutch?
Right. And then like, I don't know, somewhere along the line, whenever I came to a point of like really realizing like that money is really needed for those trails. And like, I actually enjoy that place a lot. Like I should be paying, you know what I mean? Regardless of like, they need that, and then whenever I finally like went out and did some trail work, and the way that it felt, it's like that place that I was doing trail work the very first time, every time I like ride over this bridge that I was working on, it's like, I think about like, man, like I did that there, like it makes me feel good, and I feel like it changes your perspective on riding in the trails. And like, I urge everybody to do it. Like, even if you only do it once, like you'll feel good when you leave. You won't be like, well, they just got some free labor out of me. That was bullshit. You know what I mean? Like,
it makes you respect what you get to do way more. And so that's to me the biggest thing is like, I respect mountain biking and love it because I've spent time building trails, and it's really hard work and it's really rewarding as well. So I get you.
Yeah. And like, if you've built a trail like from scratch, that's really cool too. It's like a really fun process of like trying to figure out how to like make it fun. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just as easy as you would think, where it's just like, oh yeah, just go around this tree and around that tree. And then that's it, and because you'll do that. And then you'll get on your bike and ride it, and you're like, oh wait, that's not fun, and then you end up having to like tweak it or whatever. And after you've done that for a while, then you actually are like, no, I understand now, like actually how to make a fun trail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you look at other trails and you're like, man, they should have widened that berm out, or like, you start to know, like, oh man, that was awesome. Or like you like ride something, you're like, holy crap, like, dude, how did they come up with this? This is so rad. You know? Yeah.
It changes everything, man. Totally changes your perspective.
Yeah. It definitely does, dude. At least it has for me. So I'll definitely be, I'm an advocate, and like, I don't really care if you're doing it legally or illegally. And maybe I shouldn't say that, but I have a different opinion than maybe all the other people, or some of the people out, the law abiding citizens out there. Like, I don't really like, I think it's stupid that we have like like trails that people aren't allowed to be on, you know, like,
oh yeah,
like I don't really care. Like some even mountain bikers like, oh, there shouldn't be any hikers on this trail. It's fucking dangerous. I'm like, yeah, but they want to be outside and walk up and down this trail, and let them walk up and down this trail. You shouldn't run into them, you idiot. You know, like, and they should be listening when you tell me you can't hear some freaking bike rattling down the trail. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I just like, I feel like there shouldn't be any limits or barriers onto like letting people go outside and do something outside, because there's so many like reasons to stay inside and not do anything. You know what I mean? Like, why stop anybody, you know, from that actually wants to go outside and do something outside?
I'm all about that, man. And that's I think it's Ireland where they have like freedom to roam, where you can ride anything anywhere.
I think Scotland,
that's right.
Yeah, because that's where the McTrail Rider rides.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, no, that is definitely awesome. Man, the webcams are back. Son of a bitch.
Webcam chats hot girls.
Damn it. They're getting all the free advertisement, man. I'm telling you guys, if you want hot girls and boys, go to webcams-chat.com.
I did not think this was this type of live stream. I'm uncomfortable.
Right? Me too, man. Freaking very uncomfortable.
I've seen some funny people jump in live streams, man. Like, you guys are all racist mother beepers. I'm like, whoa, dude, wrong place.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. Which channel were you watching?
Yeah, exactly.
You never know, man, what's going to happen on the biker live streams, right?
Anything could happen.
Yeah, that's funny that live stream that you were talking about earlier. That wasn't a biker bar, was it? Like when you first started, when you were saying something about the first time that we were chatting, and you were like, "Oh, this guy."
I don't think it was a biker bar. I think it was just live streaming with you.
Yeah.
I'm sure I could find it real quick.
No, I don't have any of those old ones up there.
You don't?
Oh no, I delete all of those. Every live stream back in the day, I would always delete them right away.
No, there was one that like you could go back and you did. Oh, what? Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah. If I left it on, I would leave him on for like a day or two sometimes. Like I would forget to delete it. But usually I always deleted my live streams because I always felt like if you weren't there, you weren't there. So that's the reason to be there when you see the notification. You know what I mean? Like,
did you unlist them or delete them?
Oh, I deleted them. Yeah, they're gone.
No.
Yeah. They're definitely 100% gone, dude.
There's the biker camp ones. That's pretty rad though. So there's a lot of me in that. Yeah, when I first went to Downeyville, that was like before I was really that big, man. That was
yeah. That was a good trip, dude. That was a real good trip. That was a fun time. I am looking forward to being able to do that again. I actually was planning on having biker camp this September, and I kind of found this place that's sort of close to Downeyville that is really like centrally located, and you'd have to do your own shuttling or set up your own stuff, but it's like you could go to like Downeyville, Mount Huff, or Mills Peak all within like 30-45 minutes, something like that. Like it was not that bad of a drive, and then come back there and you can camp out and stuff. And I was planning on doing it, but then all these fires like came and like burned down half our state. So at least it feels that way. A lot of the trails that I ride got impacted by these fires that we've had. Like even Auburn, like where I ride all the time, was just closed for a while because of a fire up there.
Did the fire like run through it like that bad, or
in Auburn? It ran through one trail basically that was a really popular one, and they had to like they had some bulldozing that they had to do, and so that trail got kind of messed up. They're working on fixing it. It's supposed to be back open soon, but honestly, it won't be good until it rains, because that dirt's just going to be like powdery. You know what I mean? Unless I don't know, unless somehow they're like trucking a bunch of water up there to like help pack it in. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but yeah, there's like basically it's like an unbelievable amount of space like in the fire that that is called the Caldor Fire.
Mm-hmm.
It basically burned. Damn, that damn webcam is back. They really want me to go there. Yeah, it's like really unbelievable amount of space. I accidentally rode a trail that I don't think was supposed to be opened yet, just last week, and it was one where the fire went through, and it was very depressing and unbelievable, like, to see in person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could look up the hill and there were these like little round circles all up and down the hill, and it's basically like the fire like burned the tree completely and the roots and everything, and you just see these like round circles, man. It's like, what the hell? You know, like it doesn't even make any sense that's like those were all trees, you know, and that's all that's left now. You know what I mean? Like, here, I'll show you on the camera, but you can't like obviously see it online. But
yeah,
it's like, I don't know if that came out very well or not, but
dude, I went for a ride.
You see all those little dots?
Yeah.
Those were trees, you know?
And that's how hot it was that they burn up and just leave those holes, right?
Yeah, it was nuts too. Like, in some parts of the trail, like if there was a big tree next to the trail, like I didn't even really think that this has how it would go, but it's like the tree would burn and then those roots underground would burn, and like, you know, some roots are like, you know, as big as a basketball or freaking as big as a softball. And so then when they went under the trail, then when somebody would go over it, or even just because there was nothing under it supporting anymore, now that all like collapsed. So you have these like big, like long crevices through the trails and stuff. And then it's like hundreds of trees that are like, those could fall over at any minute, you know? And you're like, man, this is like not safe, you know? And then you think about this particular fire, for instance, is like from not too far from me all the way to South Lake Tahoe. Like if I was driving in my car, that would be like, I don't know, let's say like a 45-minute drive. All of that forest is burned.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's crazy.
Nuts. It's nuts. And that fire was only like 300,000 acres. The one that's in Northern California, like a little bit further north, that was like 1 million acres. So it's like, I can't even wrap my freaking head around it. Like, the only reason I can wrap my head around the one that's close is because I like drive that way all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that still like blows my mind. I'm like, I can't even imagine it. So,
dude, we were in vacation at Eastern Washington, and we've gone to the same place, and good trails are like 45 minutes away. So what I'll do is I'll wake up at like 4:30 and go hit sunrise rides. And one morning when I was driving over, there was wildfires. The entire hillside was like had been burnt, was burning. And like driving by that and seeing a huge landscape in flames and the smoke just billowing out, like it hits you, man. You're like, this is jacked up, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, just like in my mind, thinking about how many trees that they need to cut down next to the freeway to like make that safe is like hard to wrap your head around. You know what I mean? Like there's a section of Highway 50 that's been closed for a while now, and I would assume that has a big part of it where they're like clearing stuff, because I mean, you don't want to be driving down the road and have a fucking telephone pole sized. I mean, you know how big the trees are down here. Yeah. Some huge freaking tree just fall over on the freeway. That'd just be like not good, you know?
Yeah. And, devastating.
Yeah. And then like there's just like on a more personal level, there's like all of these trails that we ride that are like epic freaking rides that are like that too. So it's like you can't go out and ride those trails. And I mean, you can, but like they could be a long time until that stuff's opened back up, you know? Yep. And that's kind of depressing, you know? So
yeah, no, absolutely, dude. Like that's like, again, that's your trails, that's your stomping ground. It definitely hits you.
Yeah. It's kind of drag too, because it's like, especially the stuff that happened in the higher. I mean, these fires are in where the higher altitude rides are, and you already have a short window of when you can ride those, and then to like not have that window be as big as it was, and then also have it like wrap up the season with, guess what? These trails are all closed now because we need to go like fix them. It's like, oh crap, man, this sucks. So that's part of the reason that I like am wrapping up the video the way that I did, that I was talking about. It's like, there's so much work that needs to be done in Northern California right now. If you're a Northern California mountain biker, like, donate money or donate time, because like it's really needed. It's like a ridiculous amount of work that has to happen for us to like continue enjoying like epic trails that everybody knows. Like Toad's Wild Ride in like Tahoe is like a trail that people like know from all across the country, and that was burned, like it's crazy. So anyways, dude, 2 hours, man. So
quick. Man, good time. It's always a good time. It's always quick.
Yeah, no. And I was actually really looking forward to chatting with you. I was not looking forward to like getting off the couch where I was comfy and lazy, but I'm glad that I did.
Yeah. Well, hey, dude, I say let's plan our next one to be a live podcast, video podcast as well in Sedona.
Oh man. Joe does that live stuff all the time, the Colorado kid.
Oh yeah, Joe kills it.
Yeah, he's so good at that. Maybe I could talk him into going to Sedona, and we could be on his. I get nervous about like, I don't want to like deal with like doing that live. I don't know why. It just like, there's something about it. I feel like I'm intimidated. Maybe I should just get over it.
You're intimidated of doing something live, even though you're currently doing something live.
Perfect. I feel comfortable in my little safe zone here, man.
Well, maybe I'll set it up, but I think it'd be really fun.
Yeah, no, it would be fun. It would be. Could we do it from the pizza shop while I'm drinking beer and eating wings?
Where else would we do it for a biker bar, man?
Right on, man. Well, hey, dude, it was awesome talking with you. I really appreciate you taking the time, and it's always a good time, as you said. We definitely need to get together soon. It sounds like Sedona's around the corner, so we'll definitely do that. Any of you guys that are going to Sedona, please say hi when you see us. I hate whenever like I get a message on like Instagram or something. It's like, oh, I saw you, but I didn't want to bug you. And it's like, no, dude, definitely come up, say hi. It's super fun to like shake hands. You know what I'm saying, Josh?
It's all worth it, man. That's what it's about. So yes, please do it.
Yeah, definitely. So in the meantime, if you guys want to do something else that makes us happy, hit the subscribe button or the thumbs up, or go to Facebook or Instagram and follow at Biker B1. That would be sweet. I like it when you guys do that. If you really, really, really want to help us have a good time in Sedona, at least one of us, go to Patreon and become a Patreon subscriber, patron, whatever you call it. That would be awesome. Maybe I'll consider buying a drink for your old Josh over there, one of those hoppy water things that's actually beer and not that disgusting stuff he has in the bottle.
So good.
So good. What else was I going to say? There's some other things I was going to say, but who knows? It's all over now. But anyways, appreciate your time, Josh. I definitely had a good time. I want all you guys out there to remember, it only takes a bike to be a biker. Get out and be one.